Okay guys, I'm back. So if you notice, again, I have my title all nice up here, and there's no doubt about what it is that I'm graphing. And I've labeled each of my axes, and I've scaled each of my axes. Now this one I've scaled by 2s, even though I didn't label every tick mark. If you count by 2s, you can see that I went uniformly all the way up by 2. And on the bottom, I counted by halves, but notice I put this little notch in the graph, and that tells the reader that this space is not my scale that I was using, that I skipped some numbers, and instead it's this first distance that tells the spacing or what I counted by. So in this case, I counted by 0.5 along that axis. Also, since each bar represents one particular shoe size, notice that I put the number directly in the center of my bar. So this bar is only the 5s, and this bar is only the 5.5s, and this bar is only the 6s. And so I can do that if it represents only one set or one value in the data set. So even though I'm using a histogram and the bars connect, I can actually count by a single unit, and then each bar, then I don't have to put the numbers to the left of the bar is what I'm saying. Like I did on the previous histogram where I had all the 20s in one group and then the 30s. So here each bar just represents one particular individual. And then notice also at the top of each of them, I did in fact write down what they were so that it's easy for the reader to tell. Okay, on to the cumulative frequency. Okay, so now I'm doing cumulative frequency, and again, notice I have my title, and I've labeled my axes, so I have frequency on the left and size on the right. Notice this time I scaled by 10s because I need to get all the way up to 96. So again, even though I didn't label every tick mark, I did in fact count by 10s. And then notice again, I have my little notch in the graph to say that I skipped some numbers, still using the same values here and counting by 5.5s. So the only difference between this graph and the last one is that I have a running total, and I can tell when it says cumulative frequency that the total number of students or individuals that I was actually collecting data from was 96, because cumulative tells me that this last bar is going to be the running total of how many kids or people that there were. So that's the only difference. Everything else is basically the same. On to the relative frequency and cumulative frequency.